What's going on, everybody? This is Joe, and I am back for another Wilds of Eldraine pre-release kit opening. Now, if you missed previously, I have opened 4 other of these kits on this channel, all at the same time in the same video, so please feel free to click right up there at the top if you have not seen that one yet. I will remind people what these kits look like on the inside. So, for example, you can see here that it says, "Good people of Edgewall, come step with my beat, past hamlet and cottage and cobblestone street, o'er river and stream, bewitched and beguiled, oh follow me, into the wilds." And of course, the Wilds of Eldraine, because that is what this set is. Very cool, very appropriate. You can see kind of what the back of the box looks like, which is also what the inside, so to speak, of the box looks like. We have the white die. Maybe next time I'll actually remember to bring all my dice over. Actually, you know what? There we go. That's better. I went to all these events and I made it a point to trade for these cards and stuff, or these cards, excuse me, for these dice, and here I am not showing them off. So yeah, that would be very silly of me to not do that. So here are all of the dice from this set, and I will get more as I open more kits in the coming weeks, so definitely stay tuned for that. Here is the divider that comes in the kit. It has the beanstalk worm depicted on it, and then on the other side is the planeswalker symbol from this set. We have the packs themselves. And I mentioned, I can move that box out of the way and put the packs over here. Oh, sorry, one other thing is the insert telling you how to build a pre-release deck. Very cool. So for new players, players who need a little bit of a refresher, that will help you out there. And then there's this, the other side talks about know your role. In the wilds, everyone has a part to play. Are you cut out for greatness? So in the original video that I did where I opened 4 kits, I was trying to save a little bit of time, so I did not read any of this stuff off besides that middle section that I just read. But because I'm going to be opening 3 kits individually, in individual videos, I can read 2 of these per video. So I will start right up here with Young Hero. Hopefully y'all can see that. Yes, you can. Be brave, be bold, and save the realm from evil. So that's what the Young Hero role, I guess flavor-wise, looks like. No pun intended, because they're gingerbread people. We have a Sorcerer role. Gain the upper hand with your vast arcane wisdom. So I will do 2 per video of that. I'm sure you could just pause and read them, spoilers. But, you know, I'm going to read the rest off at some other time. But I mentioned doing a bunch of these events, right? During pre-release weekend, I got to play in 3 different pre-releases myself, plus I opened 4 kits for all of you, of which I gave away the Arena codes already, and now that Arena actually is live, I will be able to give away the code from this kit as well. Because of the events that we did, one of those codes I was able to use for myself, because as a reminder, not our rule, this is Wizards rule, there is 1 code per account on MTG Arena that you are able to use. So because of that, we have these codes to give away to all of you. We don't need it for ourselves, as I said, but that means that not only am I giving away 1 code in this video, I'm giving away 3. Probably could have held that better the first time. But hey, anyway, I'm giving away 3. There was the one from this kit, and I had 2 extras, both from prior events that I entered, as well as events that other folks at Champion Card Collector in Poughkeepsie, New York entered. And shoutouts to them and their amazing community. They know that they also can only use 1 code per account on MTG Arena. And so any folks who don't have an Arena account or who have who play in more than 1 event, sometimes give their codes to us because they're awesome people. And so we are able to give that away to all of you. So that's our little way and their little way of saying thank you. So this little package here has my promo foil rare or mythic in it. And I mentioned in the 4 opening video that there was nothing more than this on an adventure card, and I partially lied. So I guess I, to a degree, owe folks an apology. There is this cool on an adventure card. After an adventure resolves, you can place the existing card here, and you may cast the permanent spell from exile. So you can kind of leave this card on the side and stack your adventures on here, or your creatures, I guess, that had an adventure on here, so that you know what is in exile that can be cast from an adventure. But on the other side of this, you have the Wicked / Cursed role tokens, and behind that, the Young Hero / royal tokens. And then on the other side of that card, you have the monster and sorcerer role tokens. And as you could tell from the little insert, if you looked closely enough, there are only 6. So you are able to see all 6 on these 2 cards, right? It does mean that if you need multiples, you got to kind of hope to get them in your packs, or have some other folks around who have them for you, or, you know, use little stand-ins or whatever you have for it, as tournaments tend to typically do. But next, we can check our promo foil, that's right, Mythic, in Virtue of Knowledge. Now, the virtues outside of the white one are not that amazing, in my personal opinion. I think the white one's absolutely insane. But to have a blue Mythic, and I mean, as our promo, is pretty interesting. And the foiling pattern looks really cool, honestly, if we're looking at it like that. Very, very nice. I do not think that this is like, oh my god, I have to be in blue. Now, notably, being able to copy something for 2 might be something that's worth it to you. If you make a deck that like really leans into that, I would add this in after the fact, but I would not be looking to have that be my strategy because this is my promo. Just throwing that out there. By the way, we're giving away 3 codes in this video, so I'm going to start with one right now. So this is our small way of saying thank you to all of you for watching this video, for watching our stuff, for supporting us. Please don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell so that you will get notifications whenever any of our videos come out, or whenever we go live, because we are live on this channel every Monday and Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Mondays, if you're a fan of Magic, we are playing MTG Arena. Fridays, we play whatever video game we happen to be playing at the time, and we are working towards working towards the end, I should say, of God of War from 2018. So hopefully you will be able to join us for some of that. It has been an absolute blast. And we hope that you enjoy if you do get to join us, because I think we have a ton of fun, if I do say so myself. We have a Root Rider Fawn to start this pack off. Nice. Voracious Vermin. Ice Out, counterspell. Kellen's Light Blades, decent removal spell, I like that. Titanic Growth for a combat trick. Harried Spearguard if you want to go fast. This is a very good card for that. Crystal Grotto for fixing, or filtering, I suppose. A Candy Trail is an incredible card. Obviously, if you can put it in a food deck that, you know, or a deck that benefits you from having food, very, very nice. But this card is just great in general. I really, really like it. We have a Dream Spoilers as our first uncommon. Could go in the Fairies deck. It's a great card in general. We have a Splashy Spellcaster. Obviously wants to be in the Instants and Sorceries deck, or the red-blue deck. And, wow, speaking of the red-blue deck, a Johan Apprentice Sorcerer is our last uncommon. This is a great card as well. Right now, that is the deck that this pack is kind of screaming to me to play, but obviously we have more packs to open and more cards in this pack in general. So let's see what our next rare or mythic has in store for us. It is a Rotisserie Elemental. So, I mean, this is I guess a little bit more aggressive than the blue-red spells deck would want to be, but that doesn't necessarily mean that if I was in the blue-red spells deck that I wouldn't play this. It does give you the opportunity to get some incremental advantage from other cards and stuff. So yeah, I would at least consider it for sure. Behind it, our Enchanting Tales card from the bonus sheet is a alt art, or the anime art, Karmic Justice. I really appreciate, especially after having opened some Commander Masters, I really appreciate that, like, even in the draft packs and the set packs and stuff, you can get the specialty stuff, and it's not just limited to the collector boosters. So it's really nice that we were able to open this. Like, you know, it's not an incredible card that we're going to put in our deck or anything, but it's an alt art for the anime art. I really, really like I said, I really, really like the opportunity to be able to do that. So that's really nice, and it's a rare from that sheet. But again, I don't think it's that playable personally. If you disagree, let me know in the comments down below. And then behind it, I'm relatively certain we have a foil as well. And so our foil for this pack is... Ooh, it's a foil rare manland, if you will, or living land, whatever you want to call it, in Restless Cottage. Very nice. I mean, obviously, this is not the card that would pull us into green and black, but if we happen to be in both or in one, and we're willing to splash for the second, this is very nice. Obviously, in that last pack I just mentioned, I would want to be in blue-red so far, so this isn't as helpful, but I mean, hey, it's a pack foil rare as well, and it's a manland, so I'm happy to open that just value-wise. Behind it, a regular swamp and a monster/sorcerer roll. If you have not watched these types of videos before, what I tend to do, as you may have been able to glean already, is try to figure out what kind of a deck I would make if I opened this at pre-release. So I want to hear from you as well in the comments down below. Based on what I've opened, what deck would you make? So, let me know if you agree with me, disagree with me, and why. Like, what cards stand out to you for building your deck? Speaking of cards that stand out to me, Shatter the Oath is a very good removal spell. We have Sleight of Hand, not bad at all for the spells deck. A Besotted Knight. Beanstalk Worm, just talked about that one before. Rowan's Grim Search. I do not mind this card at all. We have a Kindled Heroism, again, for the spells deck. I mean, this obviously helps pump up a creature, but it still counts as an instant or a sorcery if you have things that care about you casting instants and sorceries, or prowess triggers and things like that. This would still absolutely work for that. We have a Minstrosity. This card is great and hilarious. We have Cut In. It's a removal spell, it's a burn spell, and it's a sorcery for the spells deck. I really like this one. Mocking Sprite as well. Instants and sorceries you cast cost 1 less to cast. Well, so far, looking pretty good, I won't lie. We have the Princess Takes Flight. This card is great. Very, very good card for, especially, I should say, for bargain decks, right? But that is our first uncommon, and it's a Saga. We have a Soul Guide Lantern, in my opinion, of course, but, from what I've heard in general from many folks, obviously this card is not for limited, but still. And we have a Twisted Sewer Witch as our third, which means our next rare or mythic is... Oh, wow. Wow, that is weird. Okay, well, that is 2 Restless Cottages in 2 packs. That's really rough because, again, the first 2 packs have really been screaming blue and red, which do not share even a single color with black and green. Wow, that's awkward. Okay. Huh. Weird. Okay. And then our Enchanting Tales card is a green card in Ground Seal. Again, not really for limited. Yeah, it enters the battlefield and you draw a card and then you can bargain it later, but I don't think that's worth it for to put a card in your deck for that. That's just me personally. Again, if you disagree, let me know in the comments down below. And then behind Ground Seal, we have a regular Plains and an ad card. Boo, ad cards. But not boo, arena codes. I mentioned about subscribing and ringing that bell before. If all 3 of these codes don't work for you because they've been used by somebody else, don't forget, if you subscribe and ring that bell, you will find out exactly when next week's video comes out so that you can get there quickly and get one of those 3 codes, because there will be 3 given away next week and 3 given away the week after. Sometimes it's not week to week, but it should be, so I'll just say it that way, and if it's not week to week, but you are subscribed, you will find out exactly when the video comes out regardless. And obviously, if you want to help your fellow viewers out, if this code does work for you, shout it out in the comments below and say, hey, the first code worked for me, the second code worked for me. And then if you want, I would love to know if you open good stuff, because it gives you 6 packs on Arena. So if you open those packs and you get cool cards, I want to hear about it. Feel free to brag down in the comments below. Like I said, I want to know. We have a Spell Stutter, another counter spell. Very nice for what it looks like we're trying to do so far. We have another Besotted Knight. A Commune with Nature, Shatter the Oath again, Sleight of Hand again, very nice. Gnawing Crescendo, gives your creatures +2/+0 until end of turn, and then if something dies this turn that's not a token, you make a rat. I mean, again, it's a spell. This might be like closer to a 23rd, depending on how many creatures we have in our deck, but it's still a spell. We have a Sky Beast Tracker, a Grabby Giant. Don't forget, these instance adventures count as spells. Johan, that we opened earlier, says that you can cast instants or sorceries from the top of your library. These adventures count for that. So you would be able to get this off the top of your library, cast it for its adventure, and then it's, exiled, and you can play the creature from exile, possibly even that turn, I guess, if you have 6 or more mana available. But still, or I guess 5 or more, because you make a treasure, right? We have an Edgewall Inn, more opportunities for fixing, and it's our first uncommon. We have a Woodland Acolyte as our second, and a Collector's Vault as the third. This does genuinely go in any deck. It is a non-creature spell, so notably if we have prowess triggers that care about specifically non-creature as opposed to instant and sorcery spells, this would work for that. And it lets us, draw, then discard, and make treasures. So that is an option. It's not an auto-include, but it's not, oh, this is bad and get rid of it. But our next rare or mythic is Expel the Interlopers. This is not a bad, I should say this is a good Wrath card. Not for the deck that we're looking to make so far, but it's still a Wrath. Very, very interesting. Behind it, our Enchanting Tales card is a Dark Tutelage. Again, not really what we're looking for in this deck. This card is good in very particular instances, and we're not really there, so there's that. Behind Dark Tutelage, I think we have a foil again. And it is, we do, oh my goodness, wow, that's so cool. I guess spoilers if you haven't watched that 4-kit opening, which you still should do. We got some insane pulls out of those 4 kits, and I'm not going to spoil all of them, but I will tell you that I thought that it was really cool that we opened a Will, a foil Will, and an alt art Will, and I guess Will really loves us because this is a foil alt art Will. Really, really cool. That foiling pattern is obviously insane. Like, it's getting all glary because of how good it is and how cool it is. Wow. Really, really awesome. Will really likes us. We have a forest behind that, full art, and a knight token. By the way, for folks who are unaware, I heard about this on Twitter. All of these full art lands were done as papercraft. You don't have to believe me. This is what the Wizards account on Twitter said. All of these lands were made with paper, like layered paper, as the art, which is really, really awesome. Really awesome. Because, I mean, the art just looks good in general, but when you realize that it was made out of paper, it's like even cooler somehow. We have a Titanic Growth to start this pack, a Warehouse Tabby, Diminisher Witch, another Kellen's Light Blades, Hamlet Glutton, that's a good one. Feed the Cauldron, good removal spell. Cooped Up, very nice pacifism effect. A Bellowing Bruiser, again, the sorcery absolutely works. You can, well, I mean, this is usually more for aggressive decks, of course, because you have the hasty creature, plus making 2 things unable to block. But yeah, it absolutely counts as a spell. You can get a 5-mana 4/4 haste into play, so I would probably put this in, even if we're in just the spells deck. We have a Territorial Witch Stalker, a Tempest Heart. Now, notably, we absolutely could put this card in our deck even if we were just blue and red. Also, we can make treasure. We've seen a couple of cards that make treasures for us. So if we really wanted to cast this creature side, we could do that even without splashing. But worst comes to worst, we get a spell that lets us draw 2 and then discard 2. So we could discard 2 cards that we don't need. Lands, in our case, usually. Come watch our streams, you'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I mean, this is not a bad card to not even really splash for, but just like if it's sitting on the side after having played the adventure side, and we want to play as a creature, we absolutely could do that. That's our first uncommon, by the way. We have Welcome to Sweet Tooth. I really like this saga a lot, but that's our second. And Boundary Lands Ranger is the third. Now this one, on the other hand, right, 2-mana 2/2, benefits you from having creatures with power 4 or greater, and then we could discard cards to draw cards or rummage. I don't know, this one's a lot tougher. Let me know in the comments down below, because in a spells deck, we're not typically going to be having creatures with power 4 or greater. Obviously, this wants to be in a more big creature deck, like red-green or something like that. So I'm not as excited with this one as I was with, like, ironically enough, the green card with the blue adventure on it. But our next rare or mythic is a Likeness Looter. Again, absolutely could be a card that we could use our treasures for, or even try to splash for. We have 2 splash lands in the Edgewall Inn and the Crystal Grotto. Although, again, Crystal Grotto is a filter land, but still, filters for black if we need it. This is a pretty good card. It's a rare. It lets us draw, then discard, and like, yeah, we could duplicate stuff, but it would probably be more for the looting aspect. So that's really, really cool. Behind Likeness Looter, our Enchanting Tales card is a Knightly Valor. Notably, not really something we would be able to put in here, or like, splash for or whatever. It's, again, also not really something our deck would want to do if we are blue-red spells. This pack didn't really help us with blue-red spells too much, but still. Behind that, just a regular island and a food token with an eyeball in it. Little gross, little gross. Hey, guess what? It is the third and final code for MTG Arena. Again, our small way of saying thank you to all of you for watching our stuff. And when I say our stuff, I mean this channel and any of the cool things that we do on here. But also, I mentioned that we stream video games on Fridays. That's because we have 2 other channels. Links down in the description box below for Video Games for All and Gluten Free for All. So if you're interested in seeing my wife, Amy, if you've not been to the channel before, play through games that she has never experienced before, which is basically all of them. We have gone through many games on that channel, and we have 3 new videos a week over there. So you should definitely go check that out, as well as the VODs for our Friday streams. And then on Gluten Free for All, Amy does some gluten-free food reviews, as well as some gluten-free cooking. And when she can, very often, the food will be lactose-free as well. If that is something that you are interested in, or you know someone who would be, definitely let them know. Like I said, links down in the description box below. Very nice first card here. We have Johan's Stopgap. Very, very good. We have a Slumbering Keep Guard, Ferocious Werefox, a Sweet Tooth Witch, a Misleading Motes. I do like this card. I like these types of effects, and it's a blue instant for our spells deck. A Vantress Transmuter, spell, and a 3/4 creature. Doesn't do anything more than that, but if you need a pretty good blocker, or if we need a card that could benefit from a lot of the pump spells and things like that we might have in the deck, this is a pretty good one. We have a Minecart Daredevil. Again, decent creature with a spell attached to it for the spells deck. Very, very nice. We have an Evolving Wilds, more ways to splash if we really wanted to put Likeness Looter in our deck. It's kind of the 3rd land that lets us do that. Very cool. We have a Frantic Firebolt. This pack is definitely helping us out with blue-red spells. Wow, very good. We have a Howling Galefang as our first uncommon. Charade of Numbing Depths. So again, this would be something that if we wanted to splash for this, we could. It benefits us for tapping things, and we don't really, to my recollection, have a lot of even blue spells that tap, even though white-blue is the tapper deck. But that would be something that I would look for or check into. If we had a number of tappers, we could do that. Because we would be splashing for white, people might say that we could put Will in. I would still probably not do that. Will is kind of just a fine card. I'm just happy that we opened a foil alt art version of him, because that's cool. But I don't think that Will really goes in this deck at all. But Charade might. We'll have to see if we have other tap effect spells in blue that could help us out, because then this absolutely could get in. Behind Charade, we have Bitter Chill. Very, very nice card. I would absolutely put that into this deck. And, I mean, there you go for more tap effects, I suppose. And our rare or mythic is a Virtue of Strength. So 2 virtues in this kit. Again, I said outside of the white one, the virtues probably aren't there, in my personal opinion. But it's cool to have. The arts are insane, so that's always nice. And then our Enchanting Tales card is a Grave Pact Mythic. This was a double Mythic pack, everybody. This does need triple black, so definitely not something we would splash for. But this is a very good card. So yeah, I mean, not for this deck, but I'm super happy to have opened a Grave Pact. I had seen somebody doing a set review, and I did not know that this card was in the set because I hadn't seen anybody open it at pre-release, and I hadn't opened it myself in any of the kits that I opened, so very nice now that I own one. That's really, really cool. Behind Grave Pact, a Full Art Plains, again, now that you know if it was new information to you. Papercraft, Really, really awesome. And let me know if that's new information to you in the comments down below. I would love to know. And a food token, which means we have one more pack to go. I still think I would lean towards blue-red spells, especially after that last pack, but I do want to know from you all what you would do. Would you splash for things? Would you try to play green-black and put in like Virtue of Strength and Grave Pact and things like that for the Restless Cottages? Whatever the case may be, like I said, I want to hear from you in the comments down below. We have a Charmed Clothier, good one. Another Beanstalk Worm, that's 2. Another Sweet Tooth Witch. Another Johann's Stopgap. Another Slumbering Keep Guard. Candy Grapple, good card. Nice removal spell as well. We have a Flick a Coin, good spell for the spells deck. Yeah, it only deals 1 damage, but you still make a treasure, and that 1 damage could be after combat, it could be at the end of their turn, things like that. Really, really nice, and you draw a card as well. We have a Protective Parents, I like this one. Totentan's Swarm Piper is our first uncommon. I feel like that came quickly, hopefully we have a foil. But anyway, Totentan's is an interesting one. We have Discerning Financier as our second, and a Royal Treatment as the third. I guess Totentan's is the only one that we like could consider, and especially if we're splashing Likeness Looter, we could probably try to splash Totentan's as well. And it does care about creatures we control dying, so that could absolutely happen. So we could get some rats too. But our last, rare or mythic, unless we get lucky with foil, is a Restless Fortress. So this is white and black, so again, not really helping us here with blue-red. These lands are really taunting us. 2 Restless Cottage and a Restless Fortress. Wow. It's funny, I always talk about not loving opening rare lands in pre-release kits because that doesn't really help us out in terms of, if we're not playing those colors, those lands aren't helpful. Or if we're not trying to splash for one of the colors or something like that. Very, very interesting. I know that we've talked about possibly splashing a black card and or a white card, so maybe this gets in for that purpose, but I really don't know. I don't think it's worth it. I think that's a lot of hoops to jump through in an already pretty complex deck like blue-red spells. But like I said, let me know in the comments. And our last Enchanting Tales card is a Prismatic Omen. Obviously, we were just talking about, having issues with different colors of mana or whatever. Trust me, this ain't the one. Just throwing that out there. This is not the card that we want to be able to help us do that. So I would probably not be going for that one. Behind Prismatic Omen, our foil is a foil uncommon in back 4 seconds. Very cool looking. I like that. I like the art. I like how it looks. Obviously, it's not for our deck, but it's cool to have in foil. Behind that, a regular mountain and a rat token. We did just open and talk about Totentan's, so definitely a possibility. I mean, I'm still going to leave you looking at this foil will, because that's sick. Foil alt art mythic. Very, very nice. And then, I still want to know from all of you what you thought in the comments down below. What kind of a deck would you make? Do you agree with me with blue-red spells? Would you try to splash anything? Do you disagree with me and maybe you'd play green-black or something like that? You have the benefit of looking back at what our removal suite looks like and what our curve looks like by going backwards in the video and checking stuff out. This is just hey, based on this quick look at these cards, that's the deck that I would probably try to make, but obviously I'd have a lot more time for deck building than just, first look through of every card we open. So, yeah. Let me know in the comments down below. Like I said, I will be back next week with another one of these openings, so definitely stay tuned to the channel. As I said, please do not forget to subscribe and ring that bell. You will get notifications whenever any of our videos come out, and whenever we go live, which will be every Monday and Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern right here on this channel. We would love, love, love to have you. Pop in a chat. Let us know you're there. We would love to say hi as well. But for now, from us here at the Geek for All family of channels, I have been Joe, and as we always say, in whichever video of ours you watch next, we will see you all next time. Thanks, everybody.